What's going on? How you doing? It's the infamous Jake John. Biggie dreams got me juicy. Pardon? My train of thoughts gotta be steaming. I'm still Kwaku dreaming. Hey guys, this is Jake John and welcome to Kwaku Dreaming. Yeah, that's right, it's Kwaku, it's not Kwaku. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Kwaku Dreaming, your favorite ideas podcast, where we explore our favorite subjects from the NBA, business and marketing, comedy, music, movies, and more. What's going on, people? How are you doing? Don't know why I said that 3 times. I'm gassed because I'm starting my first podcast ever, and it's flipping amazing, man. Today we're going to talk about the NBA. We're going to talk about LeBron James. If you're not sure who LeBron James is, he's one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the game. He's one of the best players in the NBA, arguably one of the greatest players of all time, and the most important athlete right now, surely. And I've basically spent a lot of time just trying to understand marketing through the years. I remember when I first started talking about marketing and speaking to people would always say, yeah, you just got to market the product, you got to market it. I was like, what the flip is marketing? I'm one of those people that I have to ask, like everyone else goes with the flow, and sometimes I overthink, but I like to understand things so I can implement them, break rules, learn rules, all of those things. And one thing I've really been able to learn through celebrities like Kevin Hart, LeBron James, Beyonce, and things like narrative marketing. And I feel like I've managed to learn it even better through LeBron James. And for that reason, I was able, through studying and just watching LeBron James, I was able to predict his next move, which I found fascinating. Excellent. So basically, as I said, I didn't really know anything about marketing or narrative marketing. I didn't really know what it was. And everyone used to talk about the story. And I worked out and I finally realized that the story is what people are saying about you. So if you think of your friend and somebody said, yo, sum him up. My friend, I'm not going to tell you who he is because he'll kill me. It's basically what I think about him, and that frames a story. So my story about him is how hard he works. If I was to sum him up in one word, it'd be perseverance. He's persevered through everything, and even funny things. He failed his driving test probably about 20 times. Now this sums him up because he probably tried to take his test too early, first of all, about 15 times. And probably took like 5 lessons, like, yeah, I can do this, and then failed. But this guy will fail his way into learning, right? And now he's a perfect driver, and he failed 20 times. Only this guy could do it, get back up, and get back up 20 times. Only this guy. You can do it! Not gonna say who it is because he'll kill me. Okay, so basically, so my narrative for him, the story with him would be, perseverance, because that's his story, right? I mean, that's the way I view him, and that's a great story for him to have. With LeBron James, it's about legacy and him controlling the narrative. So this is how I knew AD was about to break out of his contract and play with LeBron James before anybody else in the league knew. Yes, before Woj or any insiders knew that. I knew that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Real talk. I remember Stephen A. Smith was annoyed because he said, I hate how LeBron James has to control the narrative.
It's not just about checking the box off in terms of trying to be the GOAT. He's trying to change the narrative. Now,
the reason I knew AD was going to go play with LeBron James, or LeBron James was going to now go and recruit AD, even though everyone was telling me, Jake, you are nuts, there's no way he can play with him, is because LeBron James is all about the narrative. Now, let's look at that properly. All right, so when you look at the top 5, 10 players, we had, let's do the top what? What have I got here? Top 8 players, right? We had LeBron James. I'm doing it kind of what I thought the order was at that time, or roundabout. LeBron James, KD, or either way round. Harden, MVP winner. Steph Curry, 2 championships. Russell Westbrook, MVP, broke the triple-double record over Oscar Robertson, something that they said would never be done. And then you got Kawhi, who's also a champion, but was injured at the time, so he was lower down in the ranking. You had Giannis, but no one was really talking about him like that. But Anthony Davis was around about 6'7". That's where we were putting Anthony Davis. He knows he needs at least one other great player to play with. However, he needs to balance the idea of playing with a great player, but yet still trying to match up with Michael Jordan with championships, and not just how many championships he wins, but also no one on the team being better or as good as him to take away the shine from LeBron James. I don't actually think LeBron James is arrogant and that's why he does this. I honestly think that he knows this is a game I have to protect my legacy. So with having the choice, if you're in LeBron James' situation, would you take Harden, who people are arguing who is the greatest offensive player to ever play, even over Michael Jordan? I'm not saying that, other people say it. Would you take Russell Westbrook, who's breaking down records, flipping, getting MVPs, and is still going into the playoffs carrying the team? Would you? No, you're not. Would you take Steph Curry, who already has 3 championships and you've already lost 2? No. Would you take KD, who is not going to play with you anyway, and people say he's the best player in the league? No, you're not going to do that. Who would you take on your team? You are going to take someone like AD, who is as good as any of the players I mentioned before him, but has no accolades, no greatness to show for it. Hasn't gone deep into the playoffs, hasn't won an MVP, and is under the radar in a small market where not many people know about him. Right? Only me and you really know about AD in that sense. If I ask the guy who knows who LeBron James is but doesn't watch basketball, he's not going to know who AD is. He will know who Steph Curry is, right? So that's the legacy decision. That was his choices. Of course he's going to go for AD. Now, he can either win with another great player, and everyone will say, oh yeah, LeBron's great, but he needed people to win a championship with him all the time. Or he can take AD, and if he wins a championship with AD, people, everyone's going to be saying, whoa, LeBron is so good. LeBron is so good. He even got AD a championship. AD, someone who's never gone into the playoffs, right? When the truth is, if we're being realistic, as far as we know now, in 2019, we're just going into the end of July, into August. As far as we know now, LeBron James is coming off an injury and getting older. He might very well just need AD more than AD needs him. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Real talk. Okay, earlier today I was speaking to my main man DP, Derek Pratt. He is a LA Lakers fan and a LA native. Actor, musician, general creative, and most importantly, is a baller, a true baller, and played with a lot of great players. Actually played with LeVar Ball, believe it or not. But we're not going to hold that against him. But let's talk to DP and let's hear what he's got to say about my take. Real talk.
All right.
I'm basically talking about a prediction that I had, and it was when AD was still in his contract, is before people were really breaking out their contracts, and it was 2018, last year in June, and I said I believe that LeBron is going to play with AD. Out of all the superstars he could play with, I was like, he's definitely going to play with AD. Now, everyone was saying, you're crazy because he's in a contract. He's no way going to be able to get out of it. And people kept on saying it. But I remember I put a post up on Facebook and I said that that's what's going to happen. The reason I came to that conclusion is because of, it's basically narrative marketing, right? We know how LeBron loves to control the narrative. So if he now wins a championship with AD, if LeBron wins a championship with AD, he's going to look like he helped AD get a championship, when the fact is LeBron possibly is getting old and needed AD more than AD needs him. What do you think of that take?
I do agree with you. That's kind of the perception.
Yeah, perception.
But I think, I listen to a lot of sports radio.
Same.
In LA.
Okay.
And so they mull everything over to death. But I think that everyone pretty much knows that AD, that's really on the inside and knows sports, knows that he is a beast. And I'd say there's no way you can say he's not a top 3 player in the league, in my mind.
Okay.
But the perception is that he's like maybe just top 10 player.
Yeah, exactly.
But the reality is that he's a beast, and people in the NBA know about it. That's funny because I also predicted AD would come, and I also predicted LeBron would come when everybody thought I was crazy.
Okay.
But AD, as soon as he it's funny you talk about the narrative that LeBron creates. You know, AD in the middle of the season switched to LeBron's agent.
Yes, exactly.
Same agent as LeBron.
Right,
so
right.
as that happened, I was like, oh, he's coming. And then he was causing all this, he had all this beef with New Orleans and refusing to play and stuff.
Right.
Like, oh, he's gone. He's trying to force the trade, man. That's right out of LeBron's foot.
Which is crazy, but I just saw it because I just knew LeBron knows this game so well. And he's getting a top 3 player, but the narrative is just going to look so good for LeBron because at the moment we're not saying, AD hasn't even gone far into the playoffs, so we're not seeing a Kawhi Leonard who's got a championship. We're seeing a great player who is viewed as less than he is, so the narrative is going to look so good. I think pretty much we're viewing him as Paul George, right? That's kind of the way people are viewing him. Obviously for us, we can see the talent, and we know he's up there. But I think it's very clever from LeBron. Real tough. I'm still Kwaku dreaming. Now, skill-wise, we all know that Anthony Davis is as talented as anyone else in the league. When we talk about greatness, when I talk about greatness, I'm talking about what you now do with that talent. Because someone like LeBron James, when he came into the league, plenty of people, before I even saw him play, people were telling me, he's the next Jordan. And then within a year, they were like, he's better than Jordan. Now, people are crazy. I don't know why you'd say that, because when we talk about great, it's the greatest of all time. It's not the best of all time. It's not the most talented of all time. It's the greatest of all time. To me, greatness is what you do. It is based on your accolades. It's when you look back at the legacy and you say, this guy conquered this, conquered that, and this is what he's got to show for it. LeBron does not have those things over Michael Jordan, but that's a different subject. We can go on and on about that, and when I do speak and have that GOAT discussion, I'll have another person to talk to, somebody who can refute me, because you LeBron fans are going to need it. Just for the record, I'm not a LeBron hater. He's one of my favorite people of all time. As a basketball player, he just ain't Jordan. But how's the narrative going to look? This is the narrative marketing I'm talking about. How is it going to look at the end of it? What's the story going to be told? That's all that matters at the end of the day, the story. The story is the thing that carries on through time and creates a legacy. How are we going to look at it? The people like us may try and go out of our way to remember that, no. AD was a great player. But for those who are learning the stories and the young people who are going to ask about LeBron James, they're going to say, what did AD have before LeBron? And people will be like, he was an all-star. There were many all-stars, but he wasn't that great a player, And then that's going to make LeBron look so good. And that's the genius of LeBron. That is the genius of it. And I don't hate on him for it. I think it's genius. And I'm starting to now, for me, it's just starting to now click, the whole narrative marketing, the whole storytelling thing. I'm starting to understand it more, Now
it's time for predictions. NBA predictions, to be precise.
Okay, here goes my next 2 predictions. Here we go. This is not really based on narrative marketing or marketing at all. Basically, I'm predicting, pretty much most of you probably agree, in the next 5 years, Jeannie Buss is going to have to sell her company, is going to have to give up and sell the Lakers. She ain't doing that great job. And Magic Johnson will probably have a stake in it, in the company, and try to buy part of it, and obviously be a face of it, as well as LeBron James.
LeBron James.
That's the team that I think he's going to try and buy, or be a part of, Lakers. And then the other prediction is Allen Iverson. I believe, for some very strong reason, I believe Allen Iverson will be a part of the Golden State Warriors in the next 3 to 5 years, right? Maybe even in the next 2 years. I know he loves Steph Curry, like that's his favorite player, but I don't know if that's a real reason towards it. I don't know if he's going to be general manager, whether he's going to be coach, assistant coach. I don't know whether he's going to be head of basketball operations. I don't know, but he will be a part of Golden State and their legacy coming up. Now they're having to rebuild after losing KD.
Predictions. NBA predictions, to be precise.
Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you learned something. Hope you learned a bit about marketing from me. If not, just hope you're entertained. Check out my blog, Kwaku Dreaming blog, and any more episodes at kwakudreaming.com. Check out jakejohn.com for any details. Make sure to check me out on Jake John Music on all platforms, all social medias, and check out Jake John Music on any music site. Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Deezer. I'm on SoundCloud. I've put my music up for free on SoundCloud as well. Check out the stuff, share it. I'm gonna play some of that stuff on the podcast and just enjoy it. Also, if you want any jingles made, any sound bites, any soundscapes, just let me know. If you want to discuss any ideas or issues we just spoke about, I'd love to hear your story. Just let me know and I'll advise and share any way that I can. If you'd like me to speak at an event, just let me know. You can contact me on kwakudreaming@mail.com. That's kwakudreaming@mail.com. Respect, all love, enjoy yourself. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. I'm still Kwaku dreaming. Have you ever felt like a Mitch, afraid of the night, and everything you're saying turns around to be a vice? You listen to the hype of vicarious life when everyone accepts you as taking your advice.